Hello, Michelle. How's it going?
Good, Lindsay. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here with you. What are we getting into today?
Well, I have a question. What is there something that you don't want Kiefer to do? Like, does he ever misbehave?
Yeah, he is this dog that loves other dogs more than
Yeah.
humans, actually. He loves to lurch. So when we're walking, and if he has that play energy, it's like he becomes crazy and he lurches and sometimes he
Oh,
growls at dogs, but it's not because he wants to hurt them. He wants to
he's
play with them, and
excited.
it's all this pent up energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one day that's going to get him in trouble, I think.
Oh no. So do
Yeah.
you how do you get him to get back? I mean, you just have
I
to
have
like
to get
Kiefer.
him to focus. When I see a dog coming, I have him stop and look at me and we focus, we calm down, we try to relax and yeah, we do our best.
That's very cute. Well, he's such a cutie. So, today we are going to do an episode that was inspired by a common phrase that we used in a role play
Okay.
during a recent All Ears English episode. And what was that expression, Lindsay?
Yeah, this was a great expression. This was I don't want you doing X, right? So, I don't want Kiefer lurching
Right.
after dogs, right?
Yep. Yep, exactly.
Yes.
So guys, head on over to episode 2384. That was don't be hit or miss with your English. And the example there was I don't want you wasting your money on somewhere that's unreliable. And we
Mm.
realized, wait a second, that's a really useful way to talk about something that you don't want to happen.
Oh my
So,
gosh, yeah, it's so
yeah.
natural and native. And Michelle, I don't think that this would be taught in any textbook. I just
No
feel like it's kind
way.
of maybe an afterthought or something for the textbooks.
Definitely. This is very, very natural. Guys, we want to let you know that we are so excited about our course that is coming out. This is Professional English Level 1. Lindsay, can you tell us about it?
Yes, this is going to be a fantastic course. We interviewed, I believe, 6 or 7 native speakers, native speaking professionals who work in industries like people working close to the C suite as executive assistants, people working in technology, in product management, manufacturing, banking. It is fantastic who we have in this course that we chat
Wow.
with. Heavy focus on fluency and speaking. There's some pronunciation in there. There's some vocabulary. It's great to build our foundation for working in English one day. All right.
Yes,
Good stuff.
amazing. All right, so you
Yes.
go to allearsenglish.com/professional.
Yes. Go get on the early access list and you'll be the first to know when it goes live very soon. It should be in just a couple of days that you will be getting that email, guys. So go over to allearsenglish.com/professional and get on that list. All
All
right.
right, can't wait.
Yes.
So, let's go through this. So the structure is I don't want someone
Yeah.
verbing basically.
Verbing. Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
what does this mean, Lindsay?
Yeah, basically, it just means you don't want someone, or in my case, my dog, to do something.
Yeah.
But I think it kind of has a hint of control. Like do you
Mhm.
agree with that, Michelle? Like you
Mhm.
have a little bit more maybe control over this person or this thing in a way. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think so. I mean, I think, it's warning someone not to do something. But
Mhm.
like in the example from the episode that we did, in the context, it was I don't want you wasting your money on somewhere that's unreliable. Now, this could just be seen as a way to help someone, right? I
Yeah.
think that's how we were using it kind of, oh, this coffee shop. No, I don't want you wasting your money. It wasn't so much of a control thing necessarily,
Yeah.
but just to help. But I do agree with you that a lot
Yeah.
of times this is showing someone that you're looking out for them
Looking out for them.
or
Yeah.
that you need to control something in some way, like Kiefer, right? I don't want you lurching.
Yes. Yeah, maybe control is not the right word, but maybe you have a little bit more responsibility over this person. Like I would be more likely to say this, let's say once my
Yes,
niece starts purchasing things with her own money. I don't want
right.
you wasting money on candy, versus what she might say to her own friend who's her
Oh,
peer at her age. It doesn't mean
sure.
you can't say that, but there's
Right.
something about
I
looking
think
out for
that's
someone
interesting.
a little bit.
Yeah, it would be weird if she said that to her friend, but I
Right.
mean, yeah, it is interesting. Yeah, I think warning or looking out for someone. So, well, let's do some examples and talk them through.
Yeah.
So here's one is this is definitely a warning. I don't want you sleeping all day tomorrow. You have homework.
Now that is coming from a mother.
Exactly, exactly. Lindsay, did you used to sleep late when you
No,
were a
I
teenager? No?
no, I wasn't that kid. I remember
That
sleeping a
was
lot
that
in
kid.
college, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like most people sleep a lot. Naps are a thing in college, right? And they
Mhm.
never are a thing again in your entire life.
Yep, 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 exactly. Yeah, so, I mean, this is a true warning, more like even scolding, telling the person what to do. So this is
Yeah.
sounds like a parent, "I don't want you doing this. I don't want you doing that."
Yeah.
What's
Yep.
another one, Lindsay?
Here's one. I don't want you walking home in the dark. Let me drive you home. So this might be maybe you're visiting a friend and then their parent says this. It's 11 p.m. You're going to walk home, but the parent says this to you as a teenager, right?
Could be that. It could also be though just I mean, I have a friend who lives in walking who used to
Yeah.
live in walking distance from me, and
Mm.
if I were to have that friend over and it's dark outside, I might just say, "Oh, no,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't want
true.
you walking home in the dark. Let me
Yeah.
drive you." So,
Yeah.
it's a
Yep.
little just kinda looking out for them, taking some
Right.
responsibility and showing that you wanna help. So it's
Yeah.
interesting. There's a lot of different, behind like subtext to this
There's a
actually.
lot of yeah, it's really interesting here. And if she's at your house, that friend, maybe you're more likely to say that because you know the neighborhood, maybe, there's a little bit of additional information that maybe you have. This is
Right.
a very nuanced thing, right?
Mhm,
But
mhm.
yeah, I like that idea. So you could say that to your friend for sure. What else, Michelle?
Alright, "I don't want you eating all my fries, give them back."
Yeah. Yeah, basically I don't want you to do this, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um
exactly.
Or this one, I don't want you spending any of your own money on this. The company will reimburse you. Nice.
Mhm. So it's just
Yes.
a different I mean, if you were to put that in other words, you could say, "Oh, you don't need to spend your money on this." Right? It's
Yes.
just a different way of saying that. It's I don't know, it gives off an air of, I think, like you said, responsibility.
Yeah.
You feel responsible. You have a stake in someone in some way.
Yes.
Or even in the fries example, it's just kind of that's more of the scolding or the warning or
That's more
playfulness.
of a scolding.
It's
Yeah.
very dynamic. The structure actually.
Yeah, it is really interesting. But it's giving our listeners just another option. Guys, that if you're at the B2C1 level, you're looking for other ways to say things, and this is one of them, right?
Mhm. Yep.
I love it. So good. Okay, Michelle, we are back. So, when do we think we might use this in our lives? I mean, I thought your question to me was a really good one because with
Yeah.
my dog, I've trained him. There are certain things like I know better than he does, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully. And I don't want him getting I don't want him getting, there might be one day where he lurches after a dog and he gets attacked. And that's my biggest fear. Honestly, it's my biggest
Yeah.
fear. So I
Aw.
have a responsibility over him,
Mhm,
right? So that
mhm,
kind of makes sense. What
mhm.
about you, Michelle, in your life? I imagine your kids maybe.
Yeah, of course. I
Hmm.
mean, so, yeah, if maybe my kids were doing something I didn't think was good, so I could say, like, "I don't want you listening to anything that boy says if he's mean to you." So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hmm.
or
That's a
or
good
I'm just
example.
thinking, yeah, now that the weather is getting nicer, we were at, the playground yesterday, so I could say, "Oh, I don't want you running all over and, like,
Uh,
without telling me where you are." Something like that.
right. Again, you're responsible for that child, right? And you're telling him what to do and what not to do. Love
Ex
that. So
Yes.
good. Yes.
Yeah.
What are so there are other ways to say it, and the tone might be slightly different, but one that we could say, Michelle, is please don't. This is where we speak directly to that person. We say, please don't stay up too late. You have school tomorrow. More
Mhm.
textbook, right?
Yes, more textbook. Or just, "I don't think you should." So,
Hmm.
"I don't think you should use any extra makeup. You look amazing."
Or make sure you don't, right? So make sure you don't lose your credit card again. We don't have to emphasize again, but I did, right?
Right. Yeah. Yep, exactly. So, yeah, just a couple different ways that you can say this if you're showing either responsibility or looking out for someone. But I do
Hmm.
agree, Lindsay. I think just generally in general, there's this air of responsibility.
Yeah, it's really interesting how a different choice of phrases could just change it slightly,
Yeah.
slightly what we're trying to say. And that's where our listeners are at right now in terms of their English for
Yeah.
connection, right? I love it. Should we see how it looks in a role play?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, Michelle, what's our scenario here? What are we
Okay.
doing?
So we are friends, and I'm telling you about a situation that happened with our other friend, a mutual friend.
Okay.
Okay, here we
All
go.
right. Mhm.
So I just don't know why she's so mad at me.
Listen, Michelle, I don't want you giving this another thought. This is not about you.
I know, but it's just upsetting.
Please don't let this get you down.
Thanks, Lindsay. Maybe I should call her.
I don't think you should do that right now. The situation is way too raw.
Maybe you're right. Make sure you don't say anything to her about this.
Of course not. Oh, there was just some kind of a fight.
Drama.
Drama. So you're really upset, and you're upset because you don't know why she's upset with you, right? This
Yeah.
other friend. And that can be quite upsetting,
Oh, that's a
right?
terrible feeling, right? If you don't understand what happened, you don't even know
Yeah.
what to apologize for.
That is really bad, right? And you need to figure it out. The human mind, because the human mind wants to be connected. We as
Yep.
humans want to be connected. And if we realize maybe we've done something, it's really unsettling, right?
Yep.
That's a good bonus phrase for today, Michelle. Unsettling.
Unsettling. Yep, I'm gonna write that down. That's gonna be in the app,
Yes.
guys.
I love it. All right. So what I said was, listen, Michelle, I don't want you giving this another thought. This is not about you. So I'm
Mhm.
saying this to you as your friend. I'm kind of trying to take care of you.
Yes, you're looking out
Mhm.
for me. You're just saying, "Oh, I don't want,"
Yeah.
you're kind of I'm consumed in this situation, and you're kinda
Yeah.
trying to get me out of it.
Yes, exactly. And then what did I say after that?
Then you said, "Please don't let this get you down." And what do you mean by that? Get you down?
Don't let it make you feel sad.
Yeah.
I also think maybe I know what's going on, maybe potentially. Like I
Mm,
know why she's upset. Could that
right.
be true? Right? I probably do
Maybe you
know.
don't maybe you do know. I
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe I do know
The
because
scoop.
I don't know. It feels like I have some insight or something.
Yeah, it does, it does.
And then you said, "Thanks, Lindsay. Maybe I should call her." And you're not giving up, right? You're still coming back to it. And I said, "I don't think you should do that right now. The situation is too raw." Right?
Exactly. So maybe you know what's going on and you just know, okay, give it a week and it'll be fine, right? Sometimes we
Yes.
just need time.
Sure.
And then I
Mhm.
just said, maybe you're right. Make sure you don't say anything to her about this.
Yes. Okay. Good stuff. So this is a good example. You're conveying a bit of a sense of you want to kind of take care, like I'm trying to take care of you a little bit or taking
Mhm.
responsibility for you emotionally by saying, "Oh, I don't want you doing this. I don't want you thinking about this. I don't want you stressing out over this." Right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So very, very good. Very important connection skill.
Yeah. What's our takeaway for today, Michelle?
Oh, well, this is, yeah, I do think that this is an important connection skill. And there's a lot it holds a lot of meaning in it. It can mean
Mhm.
many different things. It can be more that you're just the responsible adult. It could be that you're comforting someone. It could be that you're warning someone. It can just be showing that you're taking care of someone. But
Yep.
overall, I think it's this feeling of you're responsible in some way. You care. Something is on you, and you want
Yes.
to express that.
Yeah, it's a very subtle difference between this and saying, "Oh, please don't do that," or
Yeah.
"Don't do that," or "Please avoid doing that," or
Right.
it's really, really subtle. And for our listeners, guys, if you're ready for those subtleties, then run with this, right? Go and try
Hmm.
to make a list of the situations in the last week where this would have made sense for you to say. All right. I
Yep.
love it. And Michelle, what should we remind our listeners to do right now as they finish up the episode? Where should they go to get on
Go
the
to
list?
Yeah, that's allearsenglish.com/professional.
All right. And we will let you know very, very soon, especially if you're on that list, when the course is available. Can't wait. All right, Michelle, good stuff. Thanks for being on the microphone today.
Thank you, Lindsay. Have a good one. Bye.
Take care. Bye.